Hi everyone. 1 second.
The future of decentralized finance, one-inch fusion and new standards for token swaps. Please.
Yeah. Fusion system was launched nearly 1 year ago, and I'm gonna talk about aggregation, issues of aggregation and DeFi users and how they struggle, and how Fusion solves this, and what are like the key takeaways after 1 year of this system in production. Can I have clicker or something? Okay, thank you. So, yeah, if you don't know, 1inch is not only aggregator. 1inch is an ecosystem or network of decentralized protocols, products, and different stuff for engineers also. So if you would look at achievements of 1inch, in almost 5 years, we achieved 400 billions of total volume, tens of millions of wallets, 70 millions of transactions, and during this we also have almost 70% market share for aggregation market and for limit order market. Limit order protocol was launched like 2 years ago. So this slide demonstrates different products. You can see that 1inch have products for users, for contributors, which could be users for sure, products for developers, and one of the products for institutions is coming soon. So you can easily see all of them. Maybe it makes no sense to enumerate each of them. I mean, it's like main application, wallet, hardware wallet, DAO, rabbit hole, and those who want to participate in 1inch and 1inch network development, they can participate in different ways. They can delegate, they can stake, they can vote, they can contribute in different ways. In the last year, we shipped a lot of things for developers. I have a separate slide about this. So 1inch provides a lot of services for developers, for those who want to integrate 1inch engine, 1inch protocols in their applications, services. So list of services for sure. List of protocols. Protocols are usually smart contracts. Some of them are on-chain, some of them are off-chain, like spot price, Oracle protocol. It's off-chain protocols to get price of any asset. It's for long tail of assets, which are not listed anywhere for sure. And there are also open source tools. It's mostly different libraries, smart contracts, which other developers can find useful. All those things are basically helping developers to bootstrap. When we built 1inch initially, we built it on Hackathon, on ETH New York. And the core idea of how we build it was to achieve 80% of result with 20% of effort. And then we realized that achieving the last 20% of result took 80% of effort, and those were development of those services. And now those services can be easily used by other startups. So other developers nowadays can just achieve 80% with 20% of efforts, and then 80% of the rest 20% can be achieved again with 20% of effort. So, yeah, that's a list of APIs which developer portal provides. We launched Dev Portal this year, and all those great APIs which bootstrapped 1inch under the hood. You can see it's like tokens API, balances API, history API, order book API, swap API, like all those great APIs. They powered 1inch for many years, and they all appeared one by one. And now we are providing them as services for any other developer. So building nowadays a new wallet or a new service is really easy with all those APIs. So returning to DEX aggregation question. So initially, when we built the very first prototype in 2019, it was about just redistributing user volumes among different exchanges. But nowadays, it's a more complex thing. It's actually about building a road on the graph. There is a graph where nodes are different assets, and edges of this graph are different dexes, different pools, different sources. And this problem is about finding the optimal multi-road from one asset to another asset over some middle assets. So for small amounts, it makes no sense to aggregate anything. There will be like one straight line from source token to destination token. But whenever amount is much higher than gas fees, it makes sense to do aggregation to improve exchange rate. And where it's come from, initially, after each trade, there was a room for backrun arbitrage. But nowadays, after good aggregated trades, there is no any room for arbitrage on chain. So that's the key point. So all those arbitrage profits were converted into user benefits. But executing transactions on blockchain, they have some issues. Users pay for reverted transactions. So if exchange rate was changed or anything else, you could end up with your transaction reverted. You pay for execution, but blockchain state was not changed. So people don't like it. Also, there is some liquidity which is not accessible on chain because it's not active. It's possibly on some wallets of arbitrage traders, and it's not in limit order protocol, it's not in AMM, and you can't reach this liquidity because it's just tokens on someone's wallets. They don't want to sell it to you. And MEV attacks, for sure. Whenever you do transaction, you expect some exchange rate, for example, you're trading. You have some minimal exchange rate. If it will be worse, the transaction will be reverted. So MEF bots, they are taking care that you will not get more than minimal amount. So if in 2019 it was rarely happening, nowadays it's rarely happening that you will not be attacked. We have some statistics about those attacks. It will be later. So I'll explain how it happens. So if user wanna buy some token, some amount of this token from Glass, what's actually happening? Someone is front running you to buy liquidity with better rate, and you get less amount. You can see user gets less. And at the end, those bots, they sell bot liquidity back to the Glass. And if user got less, they got more. So profits are not disappearing. If user got worse rate, bot got better rate. They earn on this by sandwiching your transactions. They buy before you and sell right after you. That's how they extract value from your transactions. And nowadays, almost every transaction is being considered for value extraction. So, and sometimes we can see things like that someone lost like or I'm not sure, like it's 6 figs, like 700,000, and this MEF bot looks like MEF bot earned this money, but not. MEF bot earned only like 260. How this happened? Like who earned the rest? Yeah, previously it was miners on blockchain. Now it's validators, block producers. They get most of those profits. The only 260 here, which we see, was earned by these bots. How this happens? Like why bot did not earn all this money? The thing is that any front-run bot can try to earn this money. And the only way to compete for them against each other is to bribe validators. So that's what they do. They bribe almost all money to validator to get at least some money. Some other bot who tried to steal the same 700,000, for example, tried to earn 1,000 and donate less to validator. So validator just choose some bot which donated more. So if we would look on those numbers, you will see that they grew dramatically. In terms of number of transactions, it's like 500 times in 4 years. But for sure, number of transactions in DeFi did not grow 500 times from 2011 or 19, sorry. So yeah, if in 2019 this happened time to the most profitable transactions, nowadays it's happening for almost every transaction. It rarely happens that your transaction is not being sandwiched or front-run if there is something to extract from it. The only way for now is to use flash bots or any other system which mines your transaction silently without showing it to bots and without exposure your transaction to mempool. So we believe that DeFi in general is a turning path to achieve freedom in finance, but we believe that technology could help to improve all those struggling. And that's what 1inch proposed 1 year ago. It was 1inch Fusion. And the main idea was that users themselves are not ready to protect their own transactions from all those issues. And the only way to make this protection mainstream is to provide service where professional executors are executing your transaction. And users are not responsible for this execution anymore. So this is cool images generated by AI where they compare your manual transaction sending with the hard work, which is hard to make properly to not being sandwiched, and the case where some professional actors do everything for you. You should just relax and you will get the best service. So how 1inch Fusion looks like from kind of technical point of view is that user is putting the order on blockchain by just signing, providing digital signature with their wallet. And this order will be fulfilled by multiple resolvers. And this could happen in multiple transactions, multiple different blocks. So how this happens under the hood? So you put your order, like you want to buy something for like $1,000, and for example, it's like very low liquid token. If you would buy for $1,000, the price will increase 5%. Or okay, different example. You want to buy for 1 million, but this would increase, and you would get increased price, and you would get slippage 5%. So how it works, that you're being filled, for example, for 20% of your order, and you get only 1% price slippage and price increase on this blockchain. And then arbitrage traders, they do arbitrage among different chains, among taxes, and price kind of returns to previous state, and then same or another resolver could try to fill you again for the next 20% and so on. But I will have more beautiful slide about this. So after 1 year of fusion, you can see a number of transactions, number of wallets who tried this thing, and total volume. We see that share of fusion trades and volumes is growing. It's pretty stable process, so I'm not sure when, but in 1 or 2 years, I expect fusion-like orders to exceed classic way of executing transactions. So one of the benefits you see from beginning in using Fusion, that you don't need to send transaction. You only provide digital signature, so you can't have any reverted transactions, and you don't pay for this at all. That's how it works. Also, this thing which allows Fusion to have access to non-active liquidity by having auction and emergent liquidity, and for sure safe execution. Those who fill your orders, they do it professionally, and there is no any room for any bots to attack them. And moreover, 1inch is protected from legal point of view by using TRM labs and other providers to make sure that those who place their orders, those money are not stolen from other protocols and other things, because that's something what almost no one wants to participate in. And one of the key points of 1inch smart contract development is safety and audits. There is no any way to guarantee that smart contract is safe 100%. But there are a few ways to trick probability of being hacked, and there are two different things what developers can do. One is the code size. The bigger is your code, the higher is the audits cost, and the more chances that there is any bug or issue with your code. So writing compact and efficient code is one of the tricks, and another trick is to order tens of audits. So one of the projects who tried to enumerate all DeFi projects and their audits made conclusion that 1inch smart contract is the most audited in the industry. That's true. And yeah, as I said, we tried to make our code as much compact and efficient as possible. So that's the only thing which can kind of guarantee safety nowadays. And we would recommend anyone to follow the same way, like more audits, more compact code. And this is visualization of how Fusion actually works. Internally, Fusion order is Dutch auction, where price improves for resolvers and price is getting worse with each block for user. But that's how incentives for resolvers appears. In each block, price is getting better, and there is a competition among resolvers. That's why they can't wait, and they are trying to earn on this. So you see that every 12 seconds new block is appearing, and you see that this is example of order which was filled among 6 different blocks, and if you would try to execute same order like 5,000 Ether to USDC, If you would try to execute it without fusion by just aggregation, you would get this rate you are selling either, so lower values are worse. But execution the same order on fusion gave better rate. You see it's like $7 difference in rate and 40K in actual profit. So how this happened? So you can see that this order was executed multiple times, initially by 10%, then by 30, by 30. All those trades were affecting price actually, as usually. And this was emerging liquidity which was on wallets of users. And that's why this allowed to fill on these rates without waiting until price will reach this level. So liquidity on the markets allowed you to trade by this price. But if you would slightly fill smaller amounts within some time, this would give you much better rate. So it's kind of obvious, probably. So yeah, initially 1inch was built for retail, for sure, but now we are exploring possibilities to provide services to institutions. And I think the demand for this thing is growing. I mean, 2 or 3 years ago, it was not that much. But nowadays, with all these ETFs and other things coming, we see more and more demand. More and more institutions are coming and exploring how exactly they can plug into DeFi, into exchanges, into this liquidity. So if you would compare swap fees of top projects, you would see that 1inch is still having 0% trading fee. So yeah, we are not trying to earn yet. On one of the previous slides, you could see that 1inch raised like almost 200 millions from venture. So we don't feel like it's time to capture any fee yet. We see that this market is still early, and it's hard to imagine how this market would like in 5 or 10 years. So yeah, if you have any questions, I think we have time for questions, yeah?
Yeah, maybe no more than 2 minutes. 2 minutes for questions for Anton.
Yeah, I've got one. So because Fusion is a, I can speak. That's fine. Yeah. Because Fusion is a Dutch auction, is there a possibility that because of the time delay, that an order wouldn't get completely filled because the liquidity dries up?
Yes, it's possible that price will change during your order execution. It's possible, and this is happening. But if you would look at statistics on how much orders was like filled for this which amount, as far as I remember, 90% was like filled like by 99% or something like this. So
the reason that I ask, by the way, it's Alan from Crystal Blockchain Analytics. The reason that I ask is this seems like it would be more powerful in the case of low liquidity tokens.
But this depends on the volumes. So
Exactly, yeah.
for Ethereum, 5K was kind of low liquidity for this amount. Yeah, sure.
Okay. So because of the scale of this transfer, even if we were to apply it to a shitcoin, it would still have the same percentage chance of filling.
Yeah, but yeah, for shitcoins, this is like worse for smaller amounts. Like 10K is probably something which could give you high slippage, and you would wait for execution on something which have like much lower liquidity.
And the final part of the question, sorry, what happens in the outlier case where it isn't able to fill? Does the transaction get completely reverted, or?
No. Since it's not transaction at all, it's order where you provide digital signature. It's being filled by different transactions by different resolvers, or the same resolver, it depends. You can end up partially filled, and after like some amount, those duration of those auctions can be configured right on interface. You can turn on, for example, advanced mode, and it depends on what you're swapping. If you're swapping stable to stable, it's one settings of auction. If it's high liquid assets, it's another setting. If it's shitcoin, it's another settings. And you have advanced settings where you can configure all this manually for sure. And you will end up by this order which is outdated, but it was partially filled, and this is irreversible already.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the question.
One more? Someone? Yeah. The last one, yeah.
So the previous panel was, about like DeFi for institutions. I feel that like MEV is like a very hard pitch for like institutional investors. Why do you think like MEV is still like celebrated by some part of like the ETH community overall? Because sometimes it feels it's like an inefficiency. Why so? And like how do you think we're gonna move on? Like, are we ever gonna move on from an MEV perspective, or is it gonna be significant in the industry overall?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I mean, MEV is inefficient in two ways currently. So first way is that transactions of users of blockchain are being considered for value extraction. That sounds not very fun for those who use blockchains. And another thing is that those who can do this, they actually spend most of the profits it's not their profits. These profits are turning into validators' profits. And actually, currently there are discussions in Ethereum developers community on how to turn these profits into burning Ethereum. So they are considering to make negative rewards for mining blocks. Currently, if you mine block, it's your time to produce this block, collect digital signatures. You would get something like 0.2 Ether for block, like a emission. But they're considering to make this emission negative at some point, also depending on the market, on number of validators and other things. So how validators and block producers can work when they have negative emission? Because they have some profits from MEV, it's still profitable for them. All those priority fees and the bribes, MEV things, they actually provide enough revenue so you can deal with 0.2 Ether burning. You can, or it's like 0.1 or 0.2 or 1 Ether. You could still burn some amount because it's still profitable for you to mine those blocks because you get value for them. So I think once this discussion is like under consideration, they don't have any good ideas on how to eliminate this. They are looking for a way how to use it for a good of Ethereum ecosystem, not just validators. So actually, that's this problem is very difficult. Else we would already see solution there. So yeah, and it's even so currently, if you would look at those numbers, how this 260 where it came from. This $260 is actually difference how much more performant this bot was comparing to next bot after him in terms of gas efficiency or something. So they only earn the small difference between their efficiency or something like that. So I'm not sure that there is anything coming to resolve this. But I heard that ZK Sync Metro Labs team they had some discussions regarding making those MEV thing more protected using some tech to make transactions non-programmable, so when they will be included into blockchain before being executed, because it will be kind of protected with something like encryption, but it will be able to solve this puzzle in like a few seconds. So transaction will be confirmed and then they will have some delay of being executed.
And you reveal the entire block at once.
Yeah, I mean, they are kind of revealed, but they are protected with crypto thing, which allows you to get content only after executing it for a few seconds. So, but it depends on the tech. If this crypto tech, math tech will work as intended, then this could happen, but maybe not.
Let's do big applause for Anton.
Thank you.